Hey everyone, Late to Gaming here, and today I'm doing something that I haven't really done before. I'm going to be doing, a let's play type video of the game NORCO. I mean, the reason I'm doing this is I'm actually preparing to guest on a podcast, um, Talk the Walk. It's a Boss Rush Media podcast, and I've been invited to join to talk about this game. I haven't played it yet, so I thought while I was playing through it and kind of preparing my notes, I would do a recording and then release this to YouTube the same time that the podcast drops. So I'll be playing through the game, probably talking a bit about my thoughts and feelings on it as I go through, stopping to take a few notes along the way. I think that's probably all the intro that we really need, and kind of jump right in. So again, the game is NORCO. I'm going to be playing on PC Game Pass. The quick description here: a text-based point-and-click adventure set in what's described as the sinking suburbs and industrial swamplands of an increasingly surreal and distorted South Louisiana. So that's interesting. It's got an interesting art style from what I can tell. It is rated M17 or M17 plus, whatever, for violence, blood, drug references, and strong language. So if any of those things bother you, you may want to skip this video. The game is developed by Geography of Robots. I haven't looked, but I'm thinking this is their first game, but I need to verify that. Published by Raw Fury. This is not the first Raw Fury published game that I've played. Offhand, I can't think of what the others are, but I've certainly played others. Let's see what else we got. So it looks like the main story is typically about 5 hours, with the completionist being around 7. I'm guessing I'll be somewhere between. I may actually do, if I'm not sure what completionist will entail, so I won't be surprised if I run, say, in the 6 to 8 hour range. I'm really not 100% sure what to expect. Achievements, which I'm not really interested in myself, but there are some if you are interested in that. And with that, I'm just going to jump right straight in and launch the game. Let's see here. Alright. So we have a warning about the typical flashing lights deal. Let's see. Alright. So I will say here, I did just learn yesterday, NORCO, the name is really you should say an acronym. Stands for New Orleans Refining Company, I believe. Refining or refinery. Either way, that I guess puts the kind of the backdrop here into a little more context. So we've got, let's take a look at our settings. I typically do like to drop music down just a little. I think I'll leave everything else where it is. I feel like the environmental effects, atmosphere, are going to be important in this one, so I don't want to screw with those too much. So we have various fonts to choose. Yeah, I think the Roboto Mono is fine. Standard, compact, That's fine. Speed. I usually like a faster speed. I'm not sure how much text there's going to be, so I'm not sure how important it's going to be, but I'll speed it up for my own benefit. I hope that doesn't affect the ability to kind of follow along on the video too much. Got different colorings. I'm just going to go with the default. With that, we are ready to start a new game. So, let's see what NORCO has in store for us. I like the background. I like the art style already. And it has a very mysterious, but also kind of oppressive feel to it. Shield hid by... Let me try that again. Shield hid the stars behind halogen and flame projected onto the sky every night. This wording... Shield in that context sounds like some sort of name for something, not a general shield. I don't know. This may be completely unimportant, but I keep trying to think what shield is. Otherwise, this sentence doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I'm focusing on way too much on minor details. There was no such thing as silence. The noise never went away. The refinery exhaled an endless sigh. Feel like if you've grown up here, you probably have trouble sleeping without the sound if it's constant. Oh, I love this. I love the way this looks. You often dreamed that the towers were cathedrals, that the swamps listened when you spoke, that the birds became radiant spheres while circling NORCO's sky. Ooh, I like this a lot too. I'm pretty excited so far just based on the visuals that I'm seeing. You spoke your adolescent sleepwalk. Let me try that again. You spent your adolescence sleepwalking between little devastating rituals. Though Blake pleaded, you decided to leave. Well, I don't know who Blake is. Sure, he'll get over it, alright? And he never did. You caught out on a grainer to Chicago and onward to the West Coast, thinking you'd never return. It's kind of an odd route, north to Chicago, then west. I don't know. Again, I'm getting into details that probably are unimportant. You wandered through the overlit suburbs of the vast American limbo. This is very alien looking to me. I don't know what it is. Maybe this is something that people in the area would be very familiar with, but it does not look like something I would expect to see in a refinery town, but what do I know? I've never really spent any time in one. Thumbing down 99, you saw an old man crouched in a roadside ditch. He was mouthing your name. He had a familiar gaze. He was gone when you wiped the sleep from your eyes. And these faces in the sky are kind of creepy. I like it. You spoke to Blake, learning of your mother's declining health, her insomnia, her erratic behavior. These faces are creepy. You ignored the urgency in your brother's voice. So, apparently Blake is the brother. Yeah, look how creepy that is. You headed east. You threw your phone into the Rio Grande and joined the armies of the Mesa. For months, you were in the company of fugitives, sleeping in nuclear tunnels, repairing engines and weaponry. I thought you were headed to check on your mom. Sounds like you've joined up with some rebel group or something instead. So I don't know what's going on at this point. The war was a meme that set Albuquerque on fire. You escaped while the foot soldiers of a pop-up junta, I think is how you say that, blooded the parched land. I did not expect this. While hiding in a freightliner. I'm not a religious man myself, but yeah, I think you prayed. Especially being from that area, which I think is pretty heavily Catholic. Or maybe that's just the people I know. Anyway, you held the cross around your neck and mouthed a prayer to God. You called home from a landline in a motel somewhere beyond Texas. You knew from Blake's hello that your mother was already dead. Jeez. You hung up, shouldered your bag, and returned to the highway. 5 years had passed. You made your way back home. Act 1. Lowland Ghosts. I'm already way into this. Oh, well, this is much more cheerful than what we've seen thus far. You awake from a delirious dream to find yourself in your childhood bedroom. Monkey watches you from the corner. Assume this is Monkey. Alright, so we've got a little thing up here, which is apparently your mind map. This is creepy. Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. Let's don't do that right now. I'm in my bedroom. Oh, this is the living room, so I guess this is my little map? Or maybe that's how I maybe fast travel between points? This is an overworld that shows where I am. Okay, okay. Home. The shield. Shield is the name of the oil refinery. Okay, I got you. Oh man, this is cool because I just looked at a map last night. And I know Norco is located right on the river. And I think this is probably Lake Pontchartrain, if I'm saying that right, which has this massive bridge that crosses it. That's something like 18 miles or 20 miles long, which I want to go across. That's one of the things I want to do if and when I visit southern Louisiana. So anyway, back in your childhood bedroom. Looks like we have things we can observe. Start with Monkey. This is Monkey, your best friend, a childhood gift. You spoke with him often when things got difficult, but then you left. He sat here for 5 years collecting dust. 5 years. His eyes filled with anger as he challenges you to return his gaze. Alright, do we do a staring contest? Oh, I guess we do. Glyphs will appear and flash a pattern. Match a pattern to meet Monkey. Okay. So this is just almost like a, well, it's a pattern matching. Alright. I met Monkey's gaze with a cool assurance. His expression is unchanged. Uh-oh, more intense. Alright, okay, rings. Let's do this. Circles will appear over Monkey's eyes. An outer ring will shrink to the perimeter of the circle. Click the circle. Okay. Ready. Okay, I was not ready at all for that. Let's try this again. Okay. That was better. Anger melts from Monkey's face. Alright. Let's take Monkey. I don't know if he's going to be any benefit, but we'll see. Had an achievement pop up for winning the staring contest. So now we have Monkey in our inventory. What else we got here? There's some books. Among the books on the shelf is a slim volume called Crisis LARPing. Oh wow, Crisis LARPing. Yeah, let's look at this. What the hell is this? The proto-disaster tourism began almost as soon as the floodwaters left. Floodwaters. Is this talking Katrina, possibly? Which is all sorts of sad. Punks from across the country ventured into the Ninth Ward. Gentilly, St. Bernard, and finally the East. They curated a theatrical self-portrait of their lives in the ruins. The aesthetics of disaster were central to that emerging, I don't know how to say that word, milieu. It began to percolate into popular culture. Collapse became the zeitgeist. Wise investors recuperated the experience of disaster. New Orleans became a plastic dystopia, a marketplace for crisis. Man, this is... I've heard this game touches on some emotion, and I imagine if you live through Katrina and the aftermath, this would really hit home. We got some plants. You assume Million has been keeping the plants alive. I don't know who Million is. It's not your brother. Because your brother is named Blake. A flyer from a show your friend put on a few weeks before you left town. Okay. A fight broke out while one of the opening bands played. Got whipped in the face with a bike chain. Still have a scar above your left eye. Yeah, I can see that happening. After the show, you and Blake walked the river back to NORCO. You watched the sunrise over the grain elevators. So, if NORCO is a refinery town, I'm surprised there are grain elevators. See, look out the window. A sticker from grade school half peeled from the window. And I had something like that when I was growing up, or my childhood bedroom, I guess you would say. Cool January air spills through the open window. Commuter traffic glints along Apple Street as a pair of wrens reap out of the overgrown lot next door. Alright, and let's check out the laptop, which I think is the last thing in here we can look at. The laptop, your parrain. I don't know that word either. I think there's going to be a lot of words that I'm not familiar with, given the location and the French influence. Your parrain gifted you idols on a shoddy particle board desk. Just wake it up. As the screen illuminates, you notice that the signal in the house is dead. No internet. Well, that's lame. It looks like Blake was using the computer at some point. He left a browser tab open. I don't even know if he'll want to know what he was looking at, but let's view the tab. Why not? I don't know what order I should be looking at these in. These all look like they're like some sort of encrypted email messages or something. Oh, wait, these are dates. Feb 17. Okay, let's scroll up to the top. Okay. Modbot. Archived all YX2Q posts at CP English. YX2Q. I don't know. That doesn't mean anything. Oh, maybe this is a forum. I said emails, but maybe this is a forum. Yeah. 05 Exula. Anybody still post here? Response, nope. Place is a wasteland. 06 WG. Yeah, I don't know if these are meant to mean anything or if these are just like generated usernames. Is what it looks like. Someone else chimes in. Wanted to run something by you gents. Was knocking out Sac Alay in the spillway. Saw a big round glowing thing in the sky. Call it the sun, OP. Funny. Talk to somebody else. Seen it too near the Paris Canal. I mean, that 100% looks like the sun. I don't know what they're talking about. Nothing like this, but birds in them swamps be acting weird. Looked like it was made of glass, maybe. Would glow real bright, then not at all. Moved fast. Best pick I could get. All kinds of shit been happening out that way. Get some sleep, OP. And then we've got some spam, which you always see. Need cash fast? Install Quick Job. No, Quack Job. Need cash fast? Install Quack Job. Use promo code BLEED3 for up to 0.005 Quack Coin. That amuses me, especially with the proliferation of cryptocurrency that we're kind of dealing with these days. LOL. TF kind of name is Quack Job. Just like the name sounds, full of lunatics. App's a way of getting you to join a cult. Worse than them people living in the mall in Kenner. You can't trade that coin they use. You can't trade that coin they use on hardly any exchanges because everyone knows it's a GD Ponzi scheme. Seeing this exact thing, OP, still there? Seen at the base of the upper suction. So this is in SCP_Anglers, I guess. It's like the forum name, I guess. I don't know. I'm doing a lot of guessing here. Okay, well, I think we've exhausted review of the bedroom. Can we do anything with Monkey? Just do another staring contest, but that's pretty much it. So let's head to the living room, see what we've got here. It's a nice living room. I was right about the religious aspect. So let's just start looking at things. Memories of sleepless nights. Your mom sitting here, staring through the window. There was a tension in her demeanor, as if you were interrupting some urgent and obligatory task. You'd continue to the kitchen with no words exchanged. I thought she hated me. She was thinking about Blue. She barely knew you were there. Okay, don't know who Blue is. Guess we'll find that out later as well. We've also opened up a couple of additional locations. A letter from Short Oil sits at the top of stack of mail. Dear neighbor, please be advised. There will be elevated flaring at the side of our number 5 stack near Good Hope on the evening of Thursday, March 19th. This will pose no health risk to it. Sure it won't. No health risk at all. If you have any questions or concerns, please contact the Shield NORCO Office of Community Engagement. Yeah, I've never dealt with refineries, but I've dealt with, grew up in an area with coal companies, so I'm all too familiar with their, let's say, not being completely transparent about safety. Here's a family photo album. Let's take a look. Yellowing pages of disposable photographs. Your grandfather, a peculiar look in his face, impossible to read. The mind map is getting updated. Your mom, staring at Blake through the obscure lighting. He's dressed as a vampire, tugging at someone's waist, pleated khaki shorts. Alright, is he wearing the khaki shorts while dressed as a vampire, or does someone else have the pleated khaki shorts? And is he dressed as a vampire because it's Halloween, or he's going to some sort of costume contest, or was he going through a vampire phase? More mind map stuff. A photo labeled Duck. Scene of a barbecue on the lakefront. The man at the center points playfully at the camera. His face is obscured. Turn the page. Oops, I just hit another. Wow. Achievement for unlocking 25% of nodes in the mind map. That's very quick. Turn the page and there's Blue. Your father. Okay. Though you've never thought of him that way. An easy smile on his face, a canister of dip shoved into his front pocket. Yeah. That's something I'm very familiar with. I grew up seeing guys and people I went to high school with. Usually it wasn't the front pocket for them, it was usually the back pocket. I'm also familiar with the sharp pocket on a pocket t-shirt as well. Always seeing that round outline of the can of dip. You set the book aside. Alright. There's some laundry. your mom's unfolded laundry. I bet things like that are incredibly tough when someone was left things undone before they pass away, and it's just sitting around needing to be dealt with, but you don't really want to deal with it because of what it kind of means, them not being there anymore. I can see this laundry basket sitting here for a long time. You peruse the titles on the bookshelf. What do we have? The western margin of the lake, okay. Critiques of deliberate externality, okay, and fence line diaspora. Let's try critiques of deliberate externality. Many tragedies have come to pass along the western margin of Lake Pontchartrain. Well, apparently I clicked on the first one. The unnamed hurricane of YW9D left the settlements of Frenier and Labrant in a state of unrecognizable destruction. Those who survived did so by clinging for their lives to the limbs of cypress trees. The fables and secrets of those communities lie with the bones now scattered in the sediment of the lake. It's pretty dark. Shield has acquired much of Norco's most flood-resistant land through a variety of mechanisms. Madeir Moore, YX1Y, argue that one such mechanism is a process of deliberate externality. This theory posits that key corporate decision makers encourage the company to emit effluent and noxious substances into the environment with the explicit intention of decreasing neighboring property values. Geez, that's shitty, but also probably something they would do. This compels residents to sell their properties below market value to relocate as quickly as possible. The criticism that this theory often receives is that it diminishes the importance of slavery in situating black residents along industrial fence lines up and down the Mississippi River. In the words of Carter, slavery was the deliberate externality from which Shield continues to profit. Pollution was never needed. Okay. And the last one. In the end, we decided to leave Dimes. It wasn't the cat cracker, or the smells, or the fear for our children's health that drove us away, though they played a part. Truth be told, it was the media attention. The spokespeople and the activists and academics and all this. I was done with it. I was done being a poster child, done being thought of as a victim. I wanted my experience to be my own, not something to gawk at or dissect in a laboratory. So that feels very real to me. And I'm actually going to make a note about that. So that's something that I think people who live in areas like this deal with on a very real level. And it seems counter to expectations of people who aren't familiar with it. But it's very real. It's very I'm trying to think of how to put it into words, but I think that it's when people have lived in areas like this all their lives, they become accustomed to the mistreatment that they receive at the hands of the corporation. That's kind of has a hold on the area, and that's just normal life. That's what they've grown up with, that's what their parents grew up with, and their grandparents probably dealt with as well. But when you have an influx of outsiders and you have this attention, even though it's well-meaning, I think it can come across as just unwanted and disruption to your just your everyday life and your routine. And yeah, these people are victims of their situation and of corporate greed. And they, I don't think, need to be told that in some cases. But maybe they do. I'm not sure about that part, honestly, but I think that being confronted with it and being labeled publicly as victims and being told by outsiders what's wrong with their situation and being judged, whether directly or indirectly, for not leaving the area or not doing something about it, kind of creates a situation in which these well-meaning people who are wanting to help end up being viewed as the bad guys, and they hold on to what's familiar, even if that means just kind of doubling down and supporting the corporation that's really kind of at the root of the problems that they're dealing with. I've seen this so much in the poor areas that are historically controlled by coal companies, and this all feels incredibly familiar to me. And I'm glad I got out of those areas. I'm glad that I'm not continuing to deal with that, but I sympathize and understand the people who are dealing with that sort of situation, whether it's coal, whether it's oil, or some other large corporation, or really probably any area with an extractive economy. Okay, moving on. We've got a TV, an old defective flat screen that your mom never bothered to bring to the curb. So we can turn it on. You turn on the television. A chaotic distortion of your mother's memories flash before you. Well, this is interesting. Let's tune in and see what we can see. What is this? Is this like the off-gassing or whatever it's called, the exhaust from those stacks? It almost looks like an explosion. So these are the two towers, I think. That's smoke coming from them. Traffic. Okay, this is interesting. It's just oh, that was a figure. This just looks like smoke, and then a figure approaching. And we're back to where we started. Okay. Yeah, this is bizarre. I don't really know what this means. I need to think about the meaning of that. So I'm going to make a note to look at that later. Okay. Moving on. We're at a door so we can go out, but I'm not ready to do that yet. Already looked at the books. Oh, there's a picture. A photo of your mom holding Blake as a baby on a beach in Pensacola, Florida. It's winter. You stand beside them, bundled up and laughing as a gust of wind rakes the beach. The sky is bone white. Okay. So what else we have? I think it's everything in here. So let's go look at the mind map since it changed earlier. Okay. So we have Catherine, which presumably is your mother. And then we have Duck, which is kind of obscured. It's connected to Catherine. And then we have Blue, which is this weird looking character that's connected. And we have me, who looks I won't say exactly sad. Then we have Pops Pierre. And then we have Blake. Okay, let's see what this is. Your mom died. Finished thought. The cancer metastasized. It was in her liver, then her lungs, then it was in her brain. She was on chemo, never finished her third course. At the hospice on Jefferson Highway, Blake said the traffic shook the building. He left before she drew her last breath. That, like, again, this is all very familiar. The idea of someone dying of cancer that was probably caused, or at least had contribution from the environment they lived in. Poor, in a poor area, so that hospice is located somewhere where the patients can't really receive rest because we're dealing with road noise, or in this case, even little shaking of the building. Yeah, just such a shitty situation. Along with the morphine drip and the rattling glass, that's how Catherine died. It's how depressing. Your mom. Yeah, that's, yeah, okay. Let's see who Duck is. Oh, Blue. Sorry, this is Duck. Yeah, okay, Blue seems like a vague memory. You don't remember Blue. Only the things he left behind. Photographs, cologne, tools, the name that your mother kept. Even the pictures that have survived are too faded to make out. Okay. Now, who is Duck? An old friend of your mom's. Your memory of him is scattered and vague. That's it. Okay. I guess maybe it'll fill in more later. Pops Pierre. Your grandfather, Peter Pops Pierre Melancon. He passed away when you were a teenager. He seemed to court controversy, though as a child you never understood why. Okay. You were traveling down the Pacific coast. You were in California when the summer arrived. You recall the familiar smile on the face of the old man in the Central Valley ditch. That smile burned its image into your mind. Through the Midwest, the freight cars rattled in the cold dusk as you crouched on the granite porch. Suburbs, fences, traffic, flat country all passing for miles. Then what? You rode in the back of a van from Chicago to Des Moines. You stole a heater from Walmart and brought it to the poorly attended house show. Des Moines to Kansas City to Denver, across the Rockies. Your friends went south and you were glad to be alone. You spent long nights on those highways in a shitty sleeping bag. Okay, and then you were home again. Because your brothers need you, because your brother needs you, because your mom died. You finished thought. Okay. Check out Blake. Your brother. Younger, reckless, gets in trouble, spends sleepless nights scrolling, edgelord, sensitive, compassionate, foolish, can't take criticism, always needs money, tries to help those he loves but often makes things worse. Insecure, dysmorphic, constantly checking his reflection, always seeking validation. Was terrified of you leaving, and now he's terrified of you dying. When I think of him, I just feel guilt. No love or anything like it. Alright, so let's do the oblivious one. Your grandma once said that she didn't expect much from Blake. She said he was short-tempered, oblivious, and couldn't focus. Blake was sitting in the chair across from her, staring down at a tablet. After she left the room, you asked him how he felt. I feel fine, he said. Why? Because of what Gran said. He looked confused. What did she say? Yeah, your brother. Clearly, your Gran wasn't wrong. Okay, I think we've hit everyone out but Ditch Man. The smile of the man who crouched in the ditch of the highway revisits your mind. His head was smudged with Wednesday ashes and mascara ran down his eyes. Weird. Okay. So that's what the mind map is. Interesting. So let's hit up the kitchen next. So in the kitchen, we have the obligatory cross over the opening here. Okay. To start, going around, we got some pills. Your mom's painkillers are spilled across the counter. Well, at least Blake hasn't sold them. I kind of thought he would have sold them or used them. You've discovered so many dead cockroaches in this microwave over the years that it's discouraged you from using it. Says a lot about the area, and not the area so much as the sort of home that they've been forced to live in. For several months, a dead baby roach was stuck between the clock's display and the protective screen, blocking the hour. Oh, jeez. Blake finally shook the microwave aggressively enough that the roach fell into the guts of the machine. Oh, jeez. That just... How terrible does that sound? You were always frightened by the laundry room. Okay, that's kind of bizarre, but whatever. So I can go into the backyard, attic, or return to the living room. So let's check the attic. This house is just full of memories, which, I mean, makes sense. There used to be much more clutter up here. You imagine your mom gave it away as the end approached. It was reasonable. Oh, that's it. That's all that's up there. Okay, so return to the kitchen. Let's hit the backyard. How creepy. How freaking creepy. That's Million. Whoever the hell that is. Okay. This truck was your grandfather's. You remember riding in his lap while he let you steer. I have those memories myself. The dead wasps that collected behind the seat smelled grease, whiskey, and nicotine. You and Blake would drive the truck into New Orleans on the weekends. No AC, windows down. The rattling chassis was definitely going 75 on Interstate 10. Million has been slowly repairing this vehicle since your mom's death. Oh. A steel pry bar lies on the ground. Can I not pick it up? I didn't mean to turn that on. Let me turn it back off. Oops. An old, disused motorcycle with extensive rust and wear. Okay. A disintegrating crab net. Blue taught your mom how to make these, and your mom taught you. In the summers, you'd bike to the suction before sunrise, tie chicken necks to a net, submerge it, and nurse your coffee while waiting for a bite. The towers of the refinery wink in a subtle and familiar rhythm. Can you imagine this being the view from your backyard? The opening talked about never being able to get away from it, and I was thinking of the sounds. But, I mean, you literally grew up in the shadow of this refinery. And that just seems depressing as hell. Million sits in her characteristic slouch, lost in thought. Her carapace, is that how you say that word? Has taken on the rusted and weather-worn quality of the rest of the machinery in the yard. You recall the night that your mom showed up with her. You and Blake stayed up past dawn, poring over pirated API docs. Her ragdoll mask was slumped on the floor as you wrote the routing procedure. Oh. Million is a bot, I guess, of some sort. You wonder if such memories hide behind her constellation of eyes. The robot regarded you casually. "Okay, you're awake." Catherine used to say the sound of the refinery helped pacify you. Perhaps that's no longer true. In any case, I'm certain I was no help. She gestures towards the motorcycle at the edge of the carport. "I was turning over the engine on that bike to test the coils. It was quite noisy, but they're in good shape now. All I need is a fuse, and we can use it to get around while I finish repairing the truck." Okay, I need to find a fuse. I heard the phone ringing inside, but I had my hands full. "The gas station just up the road has fuses, but you may have to persuade Troy to let you in." Okay. "Many people have been calling since Catherine died. Your brother is usually the one to answer the phone, but I don't know where he went off to. He's useless. I give Blake a hard time, but he did more to care for your mother during her final days than anyone else. It's been difficult for him. He deserves some time away from the house. Your mother left behind a lot of loose ends. From what little I know, I gather she was conducting research for a client in Fat City." Okay, this could get interesting. "I sense that many people would like to acquire that data. I am unaware of where she has hidden it. Perhaps Blake knows its whereabouts." Yeah, who would want the data? "Your mother spent her entire life researching this town. She knows histories that others have forgotten. History has a lot of value in this place." So who's the client? I haven't a clue. These aren't things she discussed with me. As the cancer spread, she became more guarded with her research. Yeah, I bet because the cancer the same thing she was researching is probably what caused the cancer. She always kept strange company. An occupational hazard, I suppose. So what was her occupation? Was she a reporter? Alright, so that's all. So I need to get to the gas station and get a fuse, and then I have transportation. So I'll go around to the front yard. Got a little Jesus statue here. Your grandfather... Oh, not Jesus. My bad. I would make a terrible Catholic. Your grandfather's statue of the Virgin Mary sits in the shadows along the crossface of the house. Your mom fed the neighborhood strays. They must be hungry since she passed. Wow. I assume this is intentionally creepy. Like that, the statues don't really look like that, do they? You observe the weathered concrete and flaking paint of the statue. The face is especially deteriorated, framed by a system of cracks. So yeah, clearly intentional. You run your hands along the deteriorating contours of the statue. It snaps off as if by design. Behind the statue's face hides an odd assemblage of electronics carelessly soldered together. At the center of the electronic configuration is what appears to be a card reader. What the hell? Like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, what if did I have more options earlier? I guess not. Okay. Yeah, what in the holy hell is that? 3 times this house is flooded. Jesus. The first flood is barely a memory. Placing your feet on drenched carpet, your mom and grandfather ripping out a sheetrock, sitting in a small RV in the backyard, setting dolls on a cluttered table. the second flood, you were 14. The pumping station failed during a heavy rain. You were in class watching the clouds move upriver. You got a text message from your mom. Stay in Destran. I'll come get you. For 2 weeks, you shared a hotel room with your mom and Blake. She spent all her days gutting the house. In the evenings, you would sometimes help. And the third, another pump failure. Your mom hired contractors with the insurance money. She said she was getting too old for it. You were bitter. You blamed her for not selling the house sooner. You stayed with friends in New Orleans. The fourth flood will follow a slow hurricane, and it will be a calamity. It will leave the entire region submerged as a critical levees breach. There will be a massive blackout that lasts for weeks. Much of the sewerage infrastructure will be damaged beyond repair. The embattled federal government will do nothing to assist. It will bankrupt the region. Small militant enclaves will form along the high ground of the Mississippi River. They will take to piracy and hijack commercial shipping vessels. Private mercenary forces will retaliate in kind. Slowly, industry will flee this hot zone. The old river control structure will collapse from neglect and sabotage. The Mississippi River will again change its course. NORCO, an old abandoned refinery town on a ghost of a river. Your house will be squatted and razed. I'm gonna take some notes there. That is so depressing sounding, yet so incredibly probably accurate. One, as far as how someone who lived there and dealt with that would feel, and also what probably could happen. Just not just living through these floods, but the fact that 2 of them were caused by pump failures, which means most likely we're talking about not even so much a failure of government, but an apathy of government towards the people in that particular area. I mean, sure, they make a big show of it, I'm sure, afterwards. But I don't think 2 pump failures happen in a well-to-do area. I think that New Orleans and that general area feels very much, in some ways, like it's the same as everywhere else in the country, but in other ways, like it's probably very unique in the vast differences in lives of the poor versus the wealthier. I'm not even just talking wealthy, just upper middle class. I think there are a lot of people who are relegated to live in unsafe areas and are not afforded the protections that others are afforded, and deal with repeated disaster with little means to escape, and also probably little motivation to do so because of all the other factors that tie them to the area, whether other people view those as valid reasons or not. I think it's probably a very sad place to live at times if you're an empathetic person and you see what's going on around you and you can feel the hopelessness that so many people there probably have. And I think this game is doing an amazing job of capturing that. I initially wasn't sure how well this game would fit into the topic of the podcast that's covering it, the Talk the Walk, which is typically walking simulators. But at the heart, it's a podcast, I think, that focuses on narrative games. And I don't think a point-and-click adventure typically as being that strong in narrative. But this one absolutely is. And this one is, so far, I'm not very far in. It's an excellent narrative. I'm very glad that I'm playing it, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to talk about it with others. Okay, so what we got? So I guess it's time to leave. Let's see. Street, backyard, inside, statue. Yep. I love this. I love this image. I don't know what it is, but I absolutely love it. What have we got? Snowball stand. The snowball stand is closed for the winter. Makes sense. Third and apple? Is that what that says? Purdue private investigators. We snoop for you. So we got two little kids and a turtle. The turtle! He crawled out of the trash can. Don't touch him, see? He's dirty. No, he's not. Turtles are always clean. They live in water. Trash water is not clean. Let's go. Just let me stare a little longer. He's pretty. I like people who like animals. I like the innocence of young kids with stuff like that. The lights are on at Purdue Private Investigators. I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation of a lot of these words. You knock. No answer. Okay. So I go to either to Floodgate Tavern or Dime's Discount. That's it. Floodgate. Ooh. Nice. Okay, so we can go back to Apple Street or go in the tavern. The Floodgate Tavern. Many shield workers gather here after their shifts. It's closed. Should be open later in the evening. Okay. I guess go back to Apple Street and hit up Dime's Discount. Oh, I love this. I love the look of this. We've got this, I guess this is refinery infrastructure in the background. We've got this. It's the color in the sky to me feels very much like it's an effect of pollution. Is this one of the towers maybe? I'm not sure. It has what looks like an inverted cross on the top. I don't know if that's intentional. We've got this rundown gas station. These pumps. I mean, these look like they're rusted and beat up. A film set? What? A film crew is set up along River Road. Several floodlights illuminate a gruesome murder scene. Two men stand pensively above a corpse. Let's see what's going on. As you near the set, a small, energetic man jumps from his chair. Attention, dumbass! Can't you see we're trying to shoot here? Yeah, I wish there was a more direct approach or response. So what are you filming? It's a detective drama called None of Your Goddamn Business. Any other questions? Rude. Stupid. Hey, you know what? Wait a second. You from around here? Yeah. We could use some cultural expertise, you might say. We're filming a Bayou cop drama and all these knuckleheads are from LA. An actor on set turns towards the director. I told you, Kevin, I'm from Texas. Oh, that's right, Noah, I forgot. Your Harvard-educated daddy bought a boutique ranch outside Austin. Well, that don't make you a cowboy hoss. Now hush up before you scare off the yokel. The director returns his attention to you with a mild look of disgust. Help us out, will you? The script needs some work. What do you say? Absolutely not. Great. Your smell was making me a little nauseous in here. What an ass. That's the best thing I can think to say about him. So many evenings spent watching traffic pass by this gas station. Little has changed. The neighboring business still sits abandoned. The surrounding streets are quiet and empty. Troy. Well, well, well. Look who's back. Wow, Troy looks like a piece of work. And just the grunting that is used for his dialogue says a lot about him. What happened? Carnival forget you beside the road? And you even brought your little doll. It didn't occur to me I was literally carrying a monkey where he was visible. That's cute. So is he someone who deals with let's try to take this route. I feel like he might respond better to I don't know. You're not that stupid, are you? Catherine? She too valuable. They never let her die. If anything, she's probably vacationing on a hard drive somewhere. What are you talking about? You're trolling me about my dead mom? Trolling? You so damn sensitive. Can't say nothing around you. Your mom was excavating all along the rim of the lake. She used to pay me to help from time to time, matter of fact. She needed somebody smart. Somebody vigilant. Somebody like me. Especially with Shield snooping around. I seen some wild shit out in them swamps with Catherine. What kind of shit? I won't bother telling you about it. Might hurt your brain. And anyhow, this ain't story time. Not letting you in this gas station. Goddamn company that runs this dump did me dirty. They swapped me with an ATM machine for speaking truth. Ain't letting nobody through till I get an apology, very least. That sucks. Don't patronize me with your weak pity. If you really want to get through, go get me some of them pills your brother was selling. That might persuade me. Told you he would be selling pills. Yeah, shuffle off then. Yeah, I knew that Blake was someone who would be selling pills. Why they're still on the table instead of already sold, I could not say for the life of me. Alright, so that was a freight loader. I missed it earlier when I was looking at things. A freight loader is being repaired in the Batur Woods over the levee? I don't know that word. Alright. Oh, so we can go there now. What in the hell? A drifter and a horse. Alright, here's a memorial. A memorial languishes in the river mud. A 2x4 cross, plywood plaque, kinds of pulverized concrete. Sprayed haphazardly onto the plywood as a remembrance. Look at this boat going by in the background. Here passed the brave freedom fighters of January XW11 whose cries of liberty echo through the generations. In much smaller lettering, a different hand scratched fake across the bottom of the plaque. So I got the horse first. A lone horse drinks from the stagnant water poured along the riverbank. I just don't even know what to say about this scene. A man sits on a pile of flotsam, his head buried in his canvas jacket against the sharp air. I guess let's try talking to him. Stupid horse. The man's gaze stays fixed on the opposite bank of the river, never turning to you nor the horse. Yeah? He spits on the dirt at his feet. You know what? Oh, you know what all they dump in this water? Hell of a cocktail. He spits again, wiping a string of mucus onto his sleeve. What are you out here for anyhow? Ain't you heard they got a criminal on the loose? Bringing the law around here, making things harder for the rest of us. Best be sharp, young one. Alright. Guess there's a criminal about. It's the first I've heard of that, but whatever. Alright. I suppose we better go home and see if we can't get those pills from the kitchen table. You pocket your mom's pills. I mean, here's the thing. I feel super shitty about even doing that. Like, probably wasn't the most effective way to get where I'm going, but that's the route I took. Let's go talk to Troy. Got me them pills? Only way you're getting through. Yeah, I got your pills. Smart move. I'll let you cross the picket line this time, punk. Such a jerk. Alright, let's go inside. Man, this is... It's all like futuristic, but also all run down and depressing. I guess it's kind of cyberpunky, but not. It's more dystopian, I guess, than it is cyberpunk. Alrighty. What have we got? Dog food? Dusty bags of dog food line the shelf. Dog food is not normally something you would have by the front door. Like an impulse item. We accept transfers. I don't know what that means. Got some candy. Protein bars, bubblegum, breath mints, taffy, etc. Okay. Fuses are also not much of an impulse buy. Fuses hang on the shelf, although maybe they are here. I don't know. Maybe people buy fuses all the freaking time. You grab a fuse. The kiosk. I detect that you have merchandise in your possession. You must remove any unpurchased items from your backpack and scan them in order to exit the store. To use an item in your inventory, drag the item from the inventory menu to the... Yeah, okay. Scan the fuse. Thank you for your purchase. I haven't actually paid for it, but whatever. This is a manual pry scanner. Okay. Let's look at the kiosk here. The disembodied illuminated head of the kiosk levitates silently in the browser tab. Let's talk to it. Good evening, how may I help you? You own this place? I am Discountware, a distributed, cloud-based operating system for American Discount Southeast Incorporated. Semantic version number 16.3.3. The owner of this franchise is Perilou & Sons LLC. Discountware is licensed to Perilou & Sons LLC via the Standard American Discount Southeast Incorporated licensing agreement. How do you like the job? I proudly perform this routine maintenance operations and procedure of 227 American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise locations across the Southeast region. American Discount Southeast Incorporated is a model company awarded for excellence in business and community service. Thank you for inquiring about American Discount Southeast Incorporated. Let's ask about Troy. Thank you for your inquiry. I'm forwarding it to Perilou & Sons. What the hell? Perilou & Sons LLC has declined to respond to your inquiry. So why did Troy get fired? American Discount Southeast Incorporated prides itself on its outstanding mentorship and jobs training program. American Discount Southeast Incorporated works to ensure that each franchise location provides opportunities for career growth. At American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise locations, we leverage automation and machine learning technologies to enhance the lives of all employees. To apply for a position at any American Discount Southeast Incorporated franchise location, please visit American Discount SE-ADSE today. Nah, I'm good. Alright, let's get out of here, get back to the backyard, and see if we can repair the, what's it called? Motorcycle. Assume we just talk to Million. You got the fuse? Good. We'll be able to use the bike to get around town until I'm done with the truck. It concerns me that Blake still hasn't returned. He's been spending a lot of time at Sarpy Paperbacks lately. Perhaps we should look for him there. Yeah, let's go to Sarpy Paperbacks. Oh, very nice. Yeah, I love the way this game looks. That's the first thing that stands out. But, I mean, there's a lot more to it. The sky bleeds a color you knew as a child. Airline highway passes beneath your feet. Million has joined your party. Interact with party members by clicking their portraits in the party menu. Okay. So Monkey is considered a party member. Million shouts over the wind. The bike runs much better now. You can use it to get around during your visit. Where could Blake be? He spends much of his time at Sarpy Paperbacks. Perhaps we should check there. How's Blake been? The year that you left, Blake became uncontrollable. His behavior troubled Catherine deeply. He was beginning to remind her of your grandfather. After he was expelled from Destrehan, he began running drugs into the parish. He made himself many enemies. He put those things behind him after her illness, but now that she's gone, I'm uncertain what to expect. Yeah, I'm not blaming myself for this. This place can ruin people. Again, 100% familiar with that concept. I won't apologize for leaving. No one's asking you 2K. Alright. So it looks like we need to use the overworld map. So far the interface of this game is really good. Like, I haven't had any issues at all. So here's Dimes, here's home, there's the tavern, here's the bookstore. Let's click on the refinery though. The sprawling Shield Industrial Complex. Long ago it was plantation land, cheap and abundant along the Mississippi River. The refinery grew in stages, slowly displacing surrounding neighborhoods. The chemical annex came online later. Children of the enslaved became the neighbors of this machine. Yeah. The towers. Carbon and alloy stainless steel. Among the columns sits the catalytic cracking unit that rocked the town. The pipeline. The web work crosses high and low, over and under traffic and water and concrete, like veins, like gossamer, like neural circuitry, and the lights. Everywhere, metal halide probing the river's expanse, coded patterns of warm sodium and cold LEDs winking, thinking, knowing. Something to decipher in all that NORCO lights. I remember Blue. You only think you do. When he died, part of her died too. Okay, well let's head to Sarpy Books. Check for cash. I like rundown bookstores, so I would probably love this place. That's my guess right now. There's a driver. What else we got? The bookstore. Okay. A young man leans against his station wagon while scrolling idly on his phone, his silhouette darkened by the fluorescent glare of the payday lender sign. Started doing this rideshare thing a few weeks ago. Kinda hate it. I wondered if he was a rideshare driver. Why? Pays like shit. Spending hours a day making small talk is melting my brain. Nearly broke an axle driving over a pothole in Holly Grove. Yeah, the small talk and just constant interaction with people would weigh me down and just keep me exhausted, I think. This is my grandpa's car. If I trash it, he'll kill me. So yeah, poor, can't even afford his own car. He's doing rideshare to try to get some money. The type of person who can't afford to really buy the equipment that he would need to probably be really successful at the job that he's trying to do. It's not paying him well. Just long hours. It's probably just killing his soul. Drove anyone interesting? There's all types around here. Some guy drove out to the middle of the swamp. It was like 2 in the morning. Asked me to wait. He got out, took off his clothes, jumped in the bayou, came back up a minute later with a bag, towed off, and got him back. Found that to be pretty fucking weird. I don't know. And a while back, I drove some lady out to the medical district. She was an odd one. Seemed kind of sick. Asked me all kinds of questions. Do I ever pick up random signal on the radio? Weird shit like that. It's just all types. Honestly, it sounds like Blake and her mother. Let's see what bicycle lady's got going on. Two teens nod and gesture excitedly while bouncing between topics. BMX, nice. Where'd this dog come from, bruh? Dunno. She been sitting here for a while. You seen her eyes? Them eyes or something, bruh. Okay. Let's check out the dog. Well, those eyes are something. A stocky pit bull with piercing green eyes watches the horizon with a neutral demeanor. Let's talk to it. As you reach down to pet the dog, she shows her teeth and growls softly. Well, a soft growl is a warning. It's not what I would say threatening. Alright, let's see what we got here. Your mom used to come here to dig through the stacks. Among the heaps of used romance novels and westerns, she always managed to find some occult artifacts. Sorry, I had to type something. The owner is also the landlord. You imagine that's the only way he manages to keep a place like this running. Over the years, they've experimented with other revenue-generating schemes. For a while, you could get your phone repaired here. Then they tried selling vape cartridges. Then kratom? I don't know what that is. Then anime wall scrolls. LSU yard ornaments after that. You remember seeing online that they were trying to do some kind of acupuncture thing. In the end, the schemes always fail, and only the paperbacks remain. So this, again, familiar to me. I grew up around lots of businesses that would try to do lots of different things. I specifically am thinking of a girl I went to high school with whose dad owned a video rental store, and they did all sorts of things there. They had tanning beds, they had porn, they did I think at one point after high school she started running kind of like a mini head shop out of it with various paraphernalia. I knew someone when I was a kid, who ran a business out of their home. They had video game rentals, and that's why I would go there occasionally. They had tanning beds. They had key duplication. And probably more things that I'm not thinking of. And I don't know if that is unique to poor areas or if it's just something that happens everywhere, but either way, I'm 100% familiar with businesses trying to stay afloat by branching out into totally unrelated things. I like the looks of this bookshop. It's not as run down as I thought it would be. You wonder how anyone can read in this dim and cluttered bookshop. As your eyes adjust, you see Blake's childhood friend Erica waiting behind the counter to greet you. Kay? And Million, when you get back to town? I've been in NORCO for quite some time. Perhaps you are misremembering, Erica. Weird, I guess so. But anyhow, Kay, you're looking rugged these days, old friend. That's an intense scar above your eye. How did I get the scar? Now I'm trying to remember. Shit, I don't know. Got it before I left, and the minute you return, you're right back in the mix, huh? Heard you ran to Troy. That guy, my God, he's such a clown. I was keeping up with your travels online, but haven't seen you post in a while. Toss my phone. I respect that. Seems more and more common these days. I've been avoiding my phone as well. Helps that the connection has been so erratic. Been hearing of people chopping down cell towers, tearing fiber cables out of the ground, trying to rip the internet apart. She nods into the ensuing silence. Back because of your mom, huh? Yeah. I'll miss the hell out of that woman. Oh yeah? I know it wasn't always easy between you two. I was around for some of the arguments. Blake would say she was a great person, but a terrible mom. I just hope you and your brother can find some comfort. It means a lot of things. Of course. I lost my dad a while back, also to cancer. He was a mean bastard. Picked up my sister and threw her one time, ended up giving her a concussion. I couldn't wait for him to die, and when he did, I danced. But as the years pass, I find myself thinking about him more. It feels good to hear stories about him. It's always complicated with this shit. Never easy. I worry about your brother. Your mom's illness was taking a toll on him. I watched him slip back into some bad behaviors. Have you seen him? Yeah, I saw him just yesterday. He hasn't been around the house? He has not. He said he was heading to Floodgate Tavern when I saw him. He may have gotten wasted? I know Gus let him sleep behind the bar a couple of times. Did he know you were coming, Kay? He never mentioned it. So that surprised him. I'm sure he'll be relieved to see you. He's been resisting help, but he needs it. If I hear from him, I'll tell him to find you. Okay. So there's really nothing to look at in here, which is disappointing. Oh wait, there's that. Oh yeah, here we go. There's stuff to look at. You scan the titles on the shelf. Why are all the books behind the counter? That's dumb. Anyway. Don't be a vampire. Good Hope Cemetery easement. Alright, don't be a vampire. You pick the slim, self-published paperback from the shelf and flip to a random page. Another dark and lonely night spent in this cavern of despair, hidden from the daylight. Blackout curtains are all that defer my eternal death. Thought being a vampire would be sexy, but it's not. It's awful for your skin. I look pathetic. Also, blood tastes like bong water. Didn't think it'd be like this. Okay. Let's try Good Hope Cemetery easement. A carbon copy of a document authored by the St. Charles Parish Planning Committee. The document outlines the parish's intentions to secure a roadway through a 90-meter stretch of the Shield Industrial Complex. This easement would allow the descendants of those entombed to visit the Good Hope Cemetery. The grave sites are currently surrounded on all sides by the refinery. Also familiar with this sort of situation. There are so many cemeteries where I grew up especially, and also to some extent in this area, that are accessible only via easement. In fact, my great-great-grandmother is buried at a cemetery very similar, where you have to go through coal company land to get there. And in fact, you have to stop at a gatehouse and effectively request permission to access the cemetery to be able to get through. So, again, this stuff is so familiar. I did not expect to be playing a game set in the swamps in New Orleans, even about a refinery town, to seem so very familiar. But I guess the setting changes, the industry changes, but really it's all the same, or incredibly similar. What else we got? I know we've got a cat whose apparently name is Crouton, which I'm 100% going to be looking at this cat. So this here is the illustrious Crouton. Or it's probably not called crouton. It's probably pronounced French. We found him behind the dumpster out back licking cardboard. Whatever you do, don't try to pet him. He's a devil. I've got scars all over my hands from this damn cat. Yeah, I have cats that love me. They give me scars, so I can totally get it. Alright. Oh wow, Crouton usually bites strangers. He must like you. Yeah, I know how to stare him down. And I noticed the cash register went up to 1. Let's see what we can... He seems to be getting a little excited. Yeah. Let's keep at this. I bet there's something going to happen. Wow, I've never seen a cat purr this hard. Maybe you two should slow down. Is he gonna explode? Look at the movement, he is really fast. And the matching is getting more difficult, so I'm gonna have to really pay attention here. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna redo it. Because it reset, it reset because I failed and I wasn't expecting there to be 5. Although I should have, it started at 3 and it went to 4. Okay, this is where I failed before. No, really, stop touching the cat. Crouton looks like he's fixing to explode. He does. Let's see if we can do this. Shit. Alright, I'm starting over. I'm doing this. Alright, here's the first of the 5 ones. Alright, this is where I screwed up last time. Focus. Shit. Alright, we're doing it again. I'm gonna get this. I wanna see what happens. That one was easy. Alright. Alright, here we go. Let's do this. I've got this. Oh shit, I did not expect that. That was great. And I got a achievement for that, for launching Crouton. Felicite. What the fuck just happened to the cat? God damn it, I told you to stop fucking with the cat. Did he just launch through the ceiling? What the hell just happened? Notice that hole in the ceiling? But now she's all nice. Okay, I love you. I know you're going through a hard time, but I'm a little pissed that you launched the cat through the ceiling. Okay, actually, no. She is specifically responding to that. Good. Just give me some space, okay? Oh, and that's changed from the counter to WTF. Oh, I grabbed a phone case from the counter. Nice. I bet I need that later. So far, this game is doing everything that a point-and-click adventure game should do, and doing it very well. I am incredibly pleased so far. I do hope Erica is correct, and that Blake's absence is due to nothing more than another drunken night. My intuition leaves me with the sense that something is wrong. Do you feel it too, Kay? Does something feel strange to you? Alright. Hey, this is all vapor wavy. I like it. Several weeks ago, Greater New Orleans, New 1st. I missed part of that. I was doing something else. Okay. Clinician. What brings you here tonight? I want a record for my children. I don't want to leave my kids alone. They may still need me. I understand. And you were referred by Master Richard? Duck. That's what everyone calls him. Yes. Duck. We followed his branch with some interest. Okay. Who's Duck now? I mean, who hasn't? I gather we'll be discussing this in more details as things progress. For now, let us begin, with a simple exercise. I'd like to talk about your earliest memory. It's of pine trees, yes? How? I don't know. That's right. Tell me about them. They grew from the concrete and cracked the driveway. And the concrete broke into pieces. They made your father upset. He'd see them and frown, but he'd remain silent. He'd sit quietly in the truck, dissatisfied. I wouldn't say a word. Speaking in those moments made you a fool in his mind. Your father's house was suffocating. I couldn't wait to get out, and that's why you married Blue. Yes, to have somewhere to go. Again, incredibly familiar with this concept of kids marrying someone as soon as they have an opportunity just to get out of their house. Just whether they had parents who were abusive or overbearing or just they didn't get along with. All too familiar with this concept. We bought a little place on Good Hope Street. The whole thing was a mistake. When I told him I didn't love him, it was in my father's voice. I told him I never loved any man. Was it true? Yes. That was a difficult night for you. It didn't feel real. Where was Blue? He sat at the window all night. The east-facing window? Yes. When you stood over him to apologize, you saw the flare stack of the refiner in his eyes. This is such a good visual. I'm making a note to grab a screenshot of right here. And this is great. I never apologized. Oh wait, we can save images? Oh, we're saving memories. Yeah, I want to save it all. How was it after that? And the time before he died? We circled each other in wide orbits. I'd hide at the center of the house nursing Kay and only leave when I heard him step out. He'd sleep on the couch or next to her crib. He'd sing her old Cajun lullabies, pet her head, whisper to her about his life. And then there was the explosion. Oh, it was an explosion, but at the refinery. Okay. When the cat cracker blew, they say he fell 5 stories. I don't know what a cat cracker is. I need to look that up. Make a note. What is a cat cracker? I'll look that up later. We went to identify his body on a Thursday night. I remember the tempo of the streetlights, the police scattered across the East Bank. I carried Kay in a blanket. She never cried. I'm saving all of this. Tell me about this man. Who the hell is that? I would see him from time to time around Norco. This was many years back. But several weeks ago, Blake saw someone passing by the house. I think it was him. Why? I just do. The robot is no longer there to deter him. Million? Yes. Could be it. What was your first encounter with Million, and why isn't he there? Wasn't he there? Let me think. She came to me in the parking lot. Kay was about 12 years old at the time. She knew Blue from his days at the aluminum refinery. I stared for a long time into her constellation of eyes. They swirled of a kind of desperation. I took her home, knowing it was another mistake. You were reckless in those days. I welcomed any trouble I could find. This is interesting. What is the significance of this image to you? Well, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to find out. It's a sphere. It followed me in the lake. When? Recently? A few weeks ago. So this is what was being posted about on the forums I saw up on the laptop. This is where Mr. Richard's branch factors into your biography. Duck's version escaped? I don't understand this conversation. I'm sure it'll be revealed. A hard fork, an extremely rare instance. And grew into some kind of monster? It began speaking to me through the radio. It told me to install an app. An app? Yes. I think it has something to do with the thing, the sphere, whatever it is. But so long as it pays, I don't care. I can use the money. Is this the Cash App thing? The app pays? Yes. I see. It seems this is the last control point that you submitted. Would you like to include any additional thoughts or memories? Anything not included in the intake form? No, that should be enough. I will now begin disconnecting the sensors. A slight feeling of nausea and disorientation is normal, and no cause for alarm. I thank you for your patience, Miss Madeira. So this is Catherine. Alrighty. So I guess let's talk to the receptionist. Attendant. Ma'am, are you okay? My eyes are just playing tricks on me, I guess. Vertigo and visual distortion are common side effects of a versioning session. Shall I contact her on-call physician? No, it's fine. Very well. Last name? It's Madeira. First name Catherine. One moment. Your head drive is fully synced. You have chosen our silver tier. The product does not come pre-installed with adware blocking services and is provided as is without warranty. Jeez. So I feel like there are better ways of her leaving something for her kids. I don't know if this is such a superior experience that it's worth, but she said it doesn't have ad block, which means there are going to be ads. It's just insane. And it also feels like it's more at risk of other people intercepting it, and clearly she has secrets that she's wanting to hide. You're eligible for a free sync anytime before the new year. Actually, I want to make a note of this too for the discussion. This is at what? 1:34. Okay. You're eligible for a free sync anytime before the new year. Thank you for choosing the Greater New Orleans Neuroversioning Clinic for your cognitive versioning needs. Okay. Alright, let's see. No idea what Super Duck wants from me. Better check my phone. Alright. Wallet watch. Crack job, okay. So we've got, like, what, 10 bucks? Alright, looking at Messenger. Alright, just checking in. Please text when you can. I'm fine. Where are you, dear? Arizona. Where in Arizona? I don't know. Love you. Just checking in. Still in Arizona? New Mex. Be careful. It doesn't seem safe to be there right now. Call when you can. Getting worried. Okay? Blake says he hasn't heard from you. Really getting concerned. Please call. They put me on another round of chemo. Would love to hear from you. So, she's trying to talk with Kay and he's just not responding. Or she's just not responding. I mean, she wasn't responding much at all at first, then she threw her phone away, so obviously wasn't responding. Blake, where you went, Ma? I'm out. I'm fine. Had to drop something off at your parents'. Been gone a while. Had to make a couple stops. I'm okay, I promise. Blake, have you heard from your sister? Yeah, she said she's okay. Where is she? She didn't say. Dear, where did my pills go? In a meeting. We'll call back. So I guess he didn't respond. Then he tried calling her. She said to me, "How'd it go this morning? We'll call." Ma, he came back around. I'll be home soon. Calling Uncle Chip. So that's that guy that she mentioned. It's fine. Love you. Love you, sweetheart. Blake, can you hear me? Can you come to the living room, please? Something's happened. Out this evening. Everything's okay. That's vague. You need to stay home. I'll be fine, I promise. Love you, my nerd. Love you, Ma. Alright, then Doug. Been a while, Doug. Too long, old friend. How's the weather on your side of the tracks? They have me on chemo. Terrible. I don't have long myself. They got me carrying around the tank. Blue's waiting for us. I don't doubt that for a minute. Praise the glory of God. Something on your mind, Kate? Don't want to raise your blood pressure. Try me. Super contacted me. Who's Super? Oh, Super Quack? Is that what he's talking about? So he did. Don't mess around with that shit. Where you went? Don't mess around with Super, Kate. That thing's got no soul. Like to ruin all it touches. I need the money. They don't take money where we're going. I can't leave it for the kids to clean up. Blue left him a little bit with how he went out. Blue left him a little bit with how he went, but I was a fool. Don't worry yourself like this at the end. Find peace. No peace for me. Don't get mixed up with that thing, Kate. I'll tell you now, it won't go how you want. Kate? God damn it, hope you're listening. So, she might have involved herself in something just because she wanted to leave something for the kids. Maybe she felt like she wasted whatever money they got from her husband's death. MyDirect. Welcome to the Oxnard MyDirect Medical Portal. 628-1760 is your verification code. Do not share this code with anyone. You have chosen to receive online billing notifications via SMS. To confirm, please respond yes. To cancel, please respond no. Yes. Your SMS notification service is now confirmed. A bill for $1,563.24 has been posted to your direct portal. An outstanding balance of $1,563.24 is waiting in your MyDirect portal. A bill for $1,763.47 has been posted to your MyDirect portal. A balance of $33.2671, an outstanding balance of $33. Clearly, it's just growing. Whoa, $12,000. Jesus, $15,000. I say that like I'm surprised. I had my manager at work. His wife passed of cancer a few years back, and I think he said that the bills were something like close to $1 million or something crazy, like the before insurance. It was just absolutely insane. So we got Quack Job. It says here I need to go to the Curious Duck. Quack Job. Do work, earn do work, earn quack. Alright. Install complete. Meet contact at Curious Duck. Incomplete. The Curious Duck is the nearest rendezvous to your location. More information awaits. Receive orientation at Eagle Janitorial and Paper Supplies in Fat City. Okay. Crap. I keep exiting instead of... Alright. Hoot hoot. I don't... Oh, no. Okay, I guess that's all I can do right now, so let's leave this place. Perdido Street. Add to the map. And... wait, billboard. The uncanny smile of personal injury lawyer Martin Smart hangs above Interstate 10. His eternally coiffed hair clings desperately to his head. His hallmark blood-red tie catches the eyes of the driver speeding past. Just a click away, the sign reads. Interstate 10. The Interstate Expressway traces a scar down Claiborne Avenue from east to west. To the east, the bridge cuts east through the Treme in the 7th Ward, like places whose stories should be forgotten and left behind in haste. The pillars still tell those stories beneath the interstate. East above the Industrial Canal, the motoring strip malls, the narrowed expanse of the lake, the shrimp boats that prowl the black marble waves. East through Mississippi and the winter weeknight darkness and onward to Florida where it terminates. Okay, to the west. West is the suburbs that Catherine calls home. West is the concrete expanse that breaks clean and sharp at the St. Charles Parish line and gives way to the cypress swamps. Tupelo crowns spire above the overpass, silhouetted by an unnatural glow that leads to NORCO. Alright. I guess we go to the overpass. Puppet Theater. Dude, this is very unexpected. What do we got? We have an onlooker. We've got Puppet Theater. We have a charity hospital. A newly refinished Art Deco structure glows beyond the overpass. They turned charity hospital into art lofts. Disgusting. Yeah, that is disgusting. A makeshift puppet theater. The curtains are closed. Maybe I'll come by later to see what this is about. It looks really nice. Showgoer. This is taking forever to start. I'm starving. You been to any of these yet? No, what is it? A puppet show. They always start late. I told them I'd help load the gear, so I'm stuck here until it's over. My stomach's going to eat itself. Okay. I can go to Perdido, to City Hall, or the French... I gotta go to the French Quarter. Sweet. I guess first I'm going to go to City Hall. This is the largest building. See, we've got an open window, we've got a skater, we've got the entrance. Check out the window. A figure sits at a desk overlooking Donkin Plaza in the deepening winter night. He watches the fingers of a cool front animate the top of oaks. Let me try reading that again. He watches the fingers of a cool front animate the tops of oak trees in the park. He watches the last remnants of commuter traffic leaving Canal Street, the pulsing taillights, the shift workers running towards the bus. A man holding a skateboard scrolls on his phone. Okay, let's talk to him. Beautiful night, huh? It's lovely. There's finally a cool front. Been waiting months for it. This is January and they're talking about it's finally cool. I come out here most evenings. No one bothers you around this time. Plus, you see a different side of the place. What do you mean? How so? People pass through this building at night you'd never expect. You know, what do they call themselves? The Garys? Can't remember the name. No idea. I have no idea what he's talking about. The kids that squatted the Promenade Mall, they're obsessed with Ken or John. Nope. Then it probably wouldn't mean much to you. But anyhow, I see them come in and out of City Hall almost every night. I know it's them because my buddy Bruce got wrapped up in that stuff. Before you get initiated, they make you wear these goofy red polo shirts. And once you're a full Gary, whatever, you get to wear the blue polo shirt. Sounds like a joke, and it is, but I don't think they realize it. It's some kind of cult, sometimes a weird gang. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff I see around here at night. What would they be doing here? I wish I had a clue. Alright, well, let's go in City Hall. An armed security guard greets Catherine as she enters the building. He sits on a wooden stool next to a walk-through metal detector. Good evening. Badge, please? Damn, I left it at the house. There are no council meetings scheduled for this evening. You'll need an employee ID badge to enter. Guy up front mentioned squatters and polo shirts coming in and out of this building at night. I don't get paid to answer questions. Alright. So let's head to the French Quarter. Obviously I've seen it on TV, but this will be my first interactive, so to speak, experience with the French Quarter. And what I see on TV, I guess it's because it's always like Mardi Gras or something going on. It's super busy and hectic and loud, and I have no interest. But looking at this, it makes me want to be there. And I don't know how accurate this portrayal is. Clearly this isn't in modern, like current time period replica of what's happening, of what the area is like, but I kind of love this. And there's a curious duck. Okay. We've got some oogles, whatever the hell that is. We've got a vendor. We've got a Santa. We've got a crowd. Alright, let's start with the crowd. It's a tour guide, and that is why Marie Laveau opened a t-shirt and camera shop on Oral Street. That's not scary at all. Jazz Fest Dad, Ranglass. I love these descriptions. I paid for a ghost tour. If we're just going to walk around looking at t-shirt shops, I want my money back. This is a farce. What kind of tour guide are you? Well, technically I'm not one, but... Excuse me? My roommate is. Then where is he? Long story. I came all this way because the website said it'd be fun. I'm having an alright time. This city was supposed to be enchanting. Anyone trying to score some Molly? I hate New Orleans. Santa. Well, ho ho ho. Looks like a terrible Santa. Look how creepy he is. Santa's eyes roll wildly in their deep sockets. His mouth twists into a smile. How are you, dear? Got $1 to spare? Help spread some Christmas cheer? What are you raising money for? Something very benevolent. Like a food bank, or... Yes. Yes, a food bank? A food bank, veterans, animal shelter. Who cares? Just give me the $1. It's my last one. Going back on your word, are you? I never promised you anything. You're a liar. I'm not. And a demon. Demon? Santa points his bill at Catherine in accusation. Demon! His posture relaxes abruptly. Open your heart. I didn't finish reading that, but I don't really think it much mattered. Alright. A hot dog vendor sits behind a large plastic cart. He looks up eagerly as Catherine approaches. Flannel lass? Oh, hey, huh? He watches Catherine with a silent grin. So is this... I'm Flannel lass, and these... He makes a grand sweeping gesture above the pot of vague meat. Are my hot dogs? Would you like one? Sure, what the hell? What the hell? I'm dying anyway. Really? You're buying a hot dog? That's fantastic. That's great. Yeah, really, not the you're dying. Really, you're buying one. You seem a bit surprised. It's just been a while since I've gotten some business. Been a little slow. Haven't ordered new dogs in a while. So these are old dogs? Nothing to worry about. They keep well. How old? Business was popping. Like I was doing really well back in YX2D. YX2D, that's nearly a decade ago. How would you like yours dressed? Tell you what, think I'll pass. I'll be here all night. Anything else I can help you with? No, absolutely not, my dude. Alright, here's the oogles, whatever the hell that is. Beard. How's your night, ma'am? Alright, no complaints. Glad to hear it. You wouldn't have any change to spare, would you? Sure, but all I got's this buck. Really appreciate that. Change has been hard to come by this evening. Didn't know we'd be going head to head with Sketchy Santa. His sign says he's raising money for veterans. Last night it was for leukemia. Night before that it was for something else. I respect the grift, but he's still our corner. You should confront him. We did. He tried to kill us. Yeah. With a knife. Well, it was dull, so it just bruised a little. Well, that's a little extreme. That's terrifying. Are you sure you're okay? Doesn't hurt as long as I'm drunk. So thanks for the $1, lady. Yeah, thanks for the pain relief. Alright, I guess we're ready to hit up the duck. There's a small plaque next to the door that says, Curious Duck. This is the place. Door is locked. Well, alright. Let's see what I've got. Any messages? Nope. Hoot hoot. Ah, damn it. Alright, let's try that order ride function. Now that I have access. Here's me. At Eagle Wholesale. I guess that's where I'm going. I don't know why. I don't have the money. Damn it. Need to get inside the Curious Duck. Yeah, I know. But the door's locked. I've already read the plaque. Alright, they're no help. Okay, let's ask this guy. Curious Duck's door is locked. What's with this shop over here? I was told to come by, but the door's locked. The Curious Duck? Rosie doesn't let anyone in unless they know the secret knock. So what's the knock? I can't say. Sorry. It's urgent, please. Well, I do need some business. Alright, I'll buy one of these old hot dogs. You won't regret it. Doubtful. How much? Just $14. 14 freaking dollars. Is that a joke? It's what a joke. Christ, do you take wallet transfers? Cash only. Damn, well, what if I send some business your way? Then I'll show you the knock. Fine, it's a deal. Alright, let's see if we can get some business. The man masquerading as a tour guide continues to lose control of the crowd. This city's just one big scam. Okay, I thought I could maybe scam them. It's like no Santa. How about it, $1 for some Christmas cheer? I just let go of my last dollar. What? That dollar was for me. So listen, that dollar I gave you, why don't you put it towards one of those delicious hot dogs this nice gentleman is selling? You're talking about this guy right here? Huh. No chance in hell I'm eating one of those things. No way, lady. Well... this is feeling problematic. Oh wait, here we go. Alright. There are hot dogs up the street. There's a guy selling hot dogs in the quarter. You should grab one. And I'm looking to treat myself tonight. These are what you might call vintage hot dogs. They're a finely aged delicacy. Oh really? That's a bit more interesting. Thanks for the suggestion. The show's getting started. I'll go check it out after it's done. Alright. So there's actually a crowd now. The crowd has arrived to watch the show. Alright. Well, let's watch the damn show. Show's getting started. I should take a seat. Alright, let's see what this show has in store for us. Gator Farm? Oh, nice. Deep in this cypress hollow I hide. I mourn this evening. My last child has died. They hang hooks from the trees with chicken thighs. They shoot bullets in our heads, behind our eyes. It is a curse that I am the last to survive. I was once captured by a fisher fool who called me his own. He walked me like a dog along the sinking streets. He fed me strange plants and deli meats. He even covered me with blankets when I went to sleep. I left on the night of a monstrous flood. The fool has not rested a single night since. He stalks these bayous each night hoping to see my eyes shine. He calls out a ridiculous name that was never mine. Tonight I will shine my eyes at him. I have a request. Kill the shrimp catching man who killed my children. Remove his head. Bring me his skull. I'm going to make a note about this section. Do this and you may again leash me like a dog. I kind of love that. I gotta say, I kind of love it. I just want a screenshot of that. Oh. Wow. Okay. So, I gotta figure this. Wow. Such a bizarre little, I'm gonna call it mini game. What do we got here? Hello, fisher fool. You've trolled this bayou for many nights. Here I am, the one you're trying to find. My child hangs dead across the lake. Bring me the head of the shrimp catching man, the one who captured the small ones. Peel the flesh from his skull. Do this and I'll be your dog again. Jesus. This is tedious. Like, how do I get up there? Maybe this way? Like that was a thing, but first I wanted to hit this one up. Ah, shit. I didn't realize I was taking damage. I should have. I'm gonna die before I even get anywhere. I'm not great. Oh no. Okay. I'm not great at driving this boat. I thought for sure I was going to run into the coast again. A hand-painted cross and bolted candles hide in the rushes along the bank. A bone-white oak tree towers above the display with a plaque nailed to its trunk. It reads, "Monster that took you, promise I'll find. Your daddy, he love you. Rest easy, child." A small assortment of sentimental objects are piled at the foot of the cross. Sift through the objects. A journal, 2 waterlogged to read, a set of playing cards, small figures, a cell phone case. You slide the case into your pocket. Alright, I found the alligator phone case. That was a, what you call it? Achievement. That's what I'm looking for. Alright. Let's hit up this point and see what it is. This is such a weird little mini game, I swear. A solitary egret stands in the rush, undisturbed by the boat's wake. Okay. I assume the fact that this is so maze-like is very intentional, because I think that's probably accurate. I think that's really the way these swamps would be. Probably very difficult to find your way through. So many little places to hide. So many, so easy to get lost. I bet growing up in or around the swamps is kind of fascinating if you're into that sort of thing. Here's a shrimper. It's been a long time I seen anyone down this bayou. They all too frightened anymore. Biggest alligator ever to hunt this lake. She makes her den just across the way. She took my child from me. I buried him where I found him, near where she stay. I visit that site daily, hoping I might catch her, but she know better than to show her face. For one to cut out that big skull of hers, that'd be something worth bragging on. It'd be a roadside marvel. There'd be money to make. I see that rifle you holding. What do you say? So I can agree to the deal. But no, I'm just going to kill him. Like, I could probably get some money, but I don't really want it. I'm just going to kill the shrimper. I don't know if that was the right move or not. I think morally it was. That kind of, I just realized how shitty that sounds. And I'm saying morally it's right to kill the guy instead of, I think you get what I assume you get what I'm getting at. Alright, let's see what this is. Do I assume I need to backtrack now? I don't know. I'm going to destroy my boat. An alligator hangs dead from a meat hook fastened to the limb of a cypress tree. Here's the thing. This guy's probably also one of the poor people who I have so much sympathy for. But then, and I know that things like fish hunting for gators is tradition and they're doing it to get by, but and shrimping and stuff, but I lose all sympathy when things like that come into play. 3 crows watch from the power line that runs along the bank. Okay. Alright. I think we're back where we started. I guess this is where I exchanged the skull for... Here we go. You did my bidding, fisher fool, just like an obedient dog. Each day you held me captive, my patience drained. You will not humiliate me again. Consider this your last mistake. Uh-oh. So, Haunted Bayou Ghost Tour. Nice. I want to grab this screenshot of this too. I'll go ahead and make a note of the time. Yeah, I love some of this stuff. I relish the horror that struck the fisherfolk's eyes. I first took one limb but left him alive. I made him crawl like a dog before he died. Oh, I kind of love this. Okay. So, yeah, this is... when the guy's gone, so I should be able to go collect my money now. I'm going to take a short little break, and then I'll be right back. You probably won't even know that I'm gone. Okay, so we can go back to the French Quarter now that we've done the puppet show and see about getting the money from the vendor to see if we can then, not the money from the vendor, see if we can get the secret handshake from the vendor. Hey, thanks for sending some business my way. No problem. But we had a deal. Deal? You're supposed to show me the knock. I said handshake, it was a knock. Oh, well, sorry. Rosie would be upset. Are you kidding? I sent you business. Show me the knock. That was the deal. Well, okay, but I'll only show you once. So, here, listen. Alright, I gotta make sure I'm ready for this. So here, listen. Okay. Did you get it? That was a secret knock? Very secret. That's how everyone knocks. Exactly. Who would suspect it? Alright. I bet we can pull this off. And Catherine knocks on the door. And here's the subtle sound of it unlocking. Alright, let's go in. Okay, so no one's in here, which is weird since someone literally just unlocked the door. But, you know, whatever. This cat looks like... It is Crouton. What the hell? Okay. So we've got a crystal ball. We've got Crouton asleep. Got some boxes. We've got some dolls, some shirts, some masks. I feel like that should be important, but it doesn't look like it is. Books, some trinkets. Alright, let's just start here at the front, I guess. Oh, Rosie is here. Don't touch the ball. Like when it zoomed in on her face. Suppose you think you can come here with your soft little hands and touch on my magic ball? Don't work like that, love. Now I gotta clean off the smudges. I see you've been eating french fries, greasy hands. Nasty. You must be one of them super duck people. Always come around here looking down at their cell phones. Greasy hands, terrible. The app said I should come here? The app? Yes, ma'am. Something not right about you. You a drug head? I'm sorry, is this the right place? It is. Just calm down, love. You made it. Dallas will tell you what you Dallas will tell you what's what. Go talk to Dallas. I called him when I heard you trying to break into the place. Hell of a racket you were making. Jiggling on the handle like you couldn't get a hold of it. Now I see why. Dallas will be right out front. I don't got time to be babysitting you now that I gotta clean up all this. Stains all over my ball. You even check your shoes before you come in? My shoes are clean. Well, I know that's a lie. And one last thing. That gemstone you got hanging from your neck, that thing ain't real. I know. Trashy. I'm going to skip over Crouton for a minute. In case he or she rockets through the ceiling. Unopened merchandise boxes are pushed to every corner of the room. Okay. Mass-produced novelty voodoo dolls and tribal figurines clutter the display case. Novelty New Orleans themed t-shirts line the back wall. I wonder how much, in an area like New Orleans, how much that is accurate. That someone has what I want to call legitimate business, but they end up having to turn it into a half-tourist destination to make money. Plastic simulacra, I don't know how to say that word, of ceremonial masks hang on the wall. An overpriced selection of travel guides, cookbooks, and haunted histories of New Orleans fill the shelf. Maybe it's hard to find regular, so to speak, stuff in a touristy area, like regular books about the area that aren't just overpriced tourist stuff. An odd jumble of Mardi Gras beads and other trinkets spills from the table. Okay. Alright. Crouton it is. This cat looks familiar. Well, why are you still here? Go find Dallas. Let him deal with you. Shit, I guess out front? This Dallas? Okay. Guessing you're Catherine? That's right. Rosie debriefed you? Was that a debriefing? I don't know if that's what I'd call it, but sure. She can be kind of, he casts his gaze into the sky and back to Catherine. Never mind. Quack Job should have a ticket with the information we need. No reason to stand around. What exactly is Super Duck? It's a way of making money. Right, but it's an intelligence of some kind. I don't know its purpose, don't know why it exists, none of that. There are nodes all across the region. Points where you can speak with Super Duck directly. These are all things Rosie should have told you. Not surprised she didn't. What's Rosie got to do with any of this? There are a dozen or so rendezvous points in addition to the nodes. Rosie's shop is one of them. She must be making good money offering her place to the network. Probably the only reason she keeps it going. Doubt she's sold merchandise in years. Locks the doors to discourage customers. Guess you could call it a front. How long have you been using this app? Been doing this since before there was an app. But Super says, use the app, I'll use the app. Makes no difference to me. Alright, I'm ready. Me too. Check the app and let's get moving. Why do I gotta check the app? Let's just do the thing, man. Alright. Curious Duck. Alright, receive orientation. Receive orientation at Eagle Janitorial and Paper Supplies in Fat City. Can I use the ride share to get there now? Oh, I've got money. Well, yeah, I've got money. Alright, let's ride share over there. Eagle Wholesale Restaurant Supplies. Alright. Car alarm in the background. Traffic. Office. Warehouse. Biggest node of the network is inside this building. We met at the rendezvous point, so now what? Check your phone. Quack ought to have the information we need. This all used to happen on Craigslist. Posts showing up. The strangest things. I was busting tables uptown. Couldn't swing rent. Had a kid to feed. Started responding to the listings. First one I ever did was steal a head drive. Broke into a man's house in NORCO. Stole it right out of his office. Brought it to another house. The people there were just like me. Just like you, Hal. Didn't know shit. They were there because of a post, just like I was. The house wasn't theirs. Nobody knew whose house it was. They plugged the head drive into a wall. They gave me some cash, and I left. Alright. I wonder if this is the stuff she got into. I thought it would have happened before. Like, I thought she'd been researching and into some shady shit all along, but maybe she's just now really getting into this dangerous stuff. A steady beat of traffic lights the sky along the causeway. Alright. The doors are locked. The office is closed. Yeah, I'm sure the warehouse is where I'm headed anyway. The galvanized steel door to the supply warehouse is half opened. Duck right in, why not? I like the way that those sounds of the traffic or the alarm or whatever faded out as I came in here. What is this? Oh, this is great. I want a screenshot of this.